Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I said, good morning, Gil. Let's see who we have here. Ashlyn Lee is with us. Ashlyn is with us before Sean is with us. That's interesting. That's cool. Well, it is Canadian Thanksgiving. That is for sure. We had our dinner yesterday. I guess I should talk to Sean about this, but yeah, I'm still recovering from that dinner. It was a lot of dinner, and I'm very thankful. I'm thankful for my sister who put it on, actually. So thank you, Kelly, for doing all that hard work. It was very much appreciated. So what's new out there with the Spren heads? Canadian Thanksgiving. What makes a Canadian Thanksgiving? What's your go-to Thanksgiving dinner? I'm going to talk to Sean about this one. I think Thanksgiving in Canada, for me anyways, it gets very blurred with Halloween. Oh, the mug. You see this mug? Let's see here. This is a Sally. Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. She's my girl. I had Yasna, lost Yasna. Now I got Sally. Carried me through October. That's a good question. Nightmare Before Christmas, Halloween movie, or Christmas movie? Both or neither? I don't know. I kind of oscillate. It's one of my favorite films of all time, but I'm not sure how to answer that. I think ultimately it's a Halloween movie because it's a character that is in that world, seeks something across the fence, and then climbs back over the fence because realizing that what he had was just fine. So I suppose it is rooted in being a Halloween movie because of that. Maybe it's like Die Hard. Is Die Hard just an action movie or is it a Christmas movie? Well, I don't know. I watch it at Christmas. For me, it's a Christmas movie. In the chat, I like your mug. I like it too. I have a matching Jack one, but I'm going to feature that one hopefully on another Ugly Mugs. And the coolest thing about this mug is look at this. Look at the heart and the handle. Come on. So cute. Yeah, it is amazing. I like mugs that have little ideas. I like mugs sometimes that have little writing on the inside or a little bonum or something on the bottom. Hard to clean though. I'm a firm believer in hand washing all of your decorative mugs so that you don't get any chips or anything on the. So a little more work. Sean is not here. He is here. He just popped in.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
I can see you. I think I'm recording.
I'm
Yes,
so late.
I am. You're late, but that's okay.
I messaged you saying, "Hey, let's do an ugly mugs," and then you're like, "Here's the link." I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Well, I thought from your tone it was sounded like you were ready and I wasn't. So then I said I wasn't really ready. But then I
Yeah.
got ready fairly quick and then
Yeah,
and I
I
just
would literally rolled out of bed like, ugh.
okay, so we're late. It's 9:50
Still with
in
a coffee in hand though. So, hey, Ashlyn, how are you?
yeah, we've got Ashlyn with us. We were having a little discussion about Nightmare Before Christmas because I have a
Ooh.
Sally mug
Oh,
today.
nice. Excellent. I have a different kind of monster.
Oh, Chewbacca.
What a Wookiee.
You're representing the 8-foot furry, the
Variety.
walking carpet. You know what? Princess Leia rocked that beginning movie.
Yeah,
Can somebody get this walking carpet out of my way? Oh my
I
God.
know, right?
Come on.
That first movie is just brilliant.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so good.
Yeah.
The stormtrooper hitting his head
Yeah,
and
it's
they
I love
left it
all that
in.
stuff. Yeah, I love that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's great.
it's just great.
So yeah, good morning, dude. How are you?
Good morning. I am all right. I am full of my sister's Thanksgiving dinner.
No, that's great. That's awesome. I am full of
Yeah.
other stuff.
Yes.
We decided to forego Thanksgiving dinner last night
Okay.
and do Chinese food.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was a weird Thanksgiving dinner last night. But it was greatly needed. We invited my father-in-law and my aunt, my wife's aunt, over for dinner. So yeah, it was a little bit sad and somber, but very greatly needed. So it was I'm really glad that we did it.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
How is everybody on your end doing?
We're doing okay. If everyone's confused as to these words right now, my mother-in-law passed away or middle of the week last week. So my wife's mom, we it was all of a sudden. It was like she was alive and vibrant 1 minute, and then within 24 hours she had passed away. So we are still only like 4 days removed from that. It has been very difficult. And so we had her husband, my father-in-law, and my father-in-law's sister over for Thanksgiving, which we normally do all the time. And it was just a weird thing. Which is one of the reasons why we didn't get to do Ugly Mugs this weekend. And then I thought, why don't we do one on Monday? And I definitely don't want it to be a sad a sad Ugly Mugs, but I did want to mention it off the top, just the little change of mood.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Well, it's good that you guys got together because, of course, you need each other
for sure.
during this time. So Chinese. So the Chinese was good. It was good food.
It was good. Yeah, it's good Chinese.
Good.
Yeah, we always order the same stuff: vegetable chow mein, chicken balls, egg rolls, General Tao's. And this time I'm like, let's order something different, because in my mind we always order the same meal when we're always
Right.
together. And now this meal together is different because there's someone missing. So I'm like, why don't I I don't know, I'm an idiot, but why don't I add a dish to the meal just to
Yeah.
kind of make things different? And I ordered like barbecue pork and broccoli, and it wasn't very good. I don't know.
Barbecue pork and broccoli. Okay.
It
Yeah.
wasn't really good.
No.
I wasn't good. It was like broccoli with like really overcooked pork. Like, I don't know. It was just it was just okay. Next time we'll try the lemon chicken.
But you were still thankful.
Yeah, I was very thankful that it was cooked, I guess. Yeah.
It was cooked.
Yeah.
Well, we had I guess a more
Traditional.
traditional Canadian Thanksgiving. So we had poutine and ketchup chips and
Oh, you did, eh?
maple syrup
Back bacon with mayo.
with back bacon and a side of A. So that was I think there was some moose hair sprinkled
Moose
on
hair.
top. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. That's really gross.
That's pretty gross. Very Canadian Thanksgiving. No, we did vegetables. There was some meat. The meat was turkey.
Yeah.
But there were plenty of vegetables. There were multiple salads and a turnip and potato and yams and all kinds of goodies.
Yams.
Yeah, the plate was piled high and the gravy was homemade. My mother took part in that.
That's great. Homemade gravy is always great.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's get to talking about this week's episode.
Yeah, I gotta still wake up, pal, because I'm
yeah. I first
Mm.
and foremost want to say thank you to all the patrons again. We do this whole thing because of you guys, and you all, and we just really love the fact that you guys are interacting and wanting to be a part of. Look, we signed on for early morning. What's It's Nuts, and
Right.
Ashlyn comes on, and like, check this out. This is really cool. So thank you very much for being involved and for sending questions and all that kind of stuff. We really appreciate it. Um, so we just hit this week 50,000 total downloads, which is
Wow.
absolutely bonkers.
Wow,
Um,
really? That's great.
yeah, it's actually not quite there. It's 49,959, but by the end of today,
Cool.
we'll have reached 50,000. So I figured I'd mention it on the show.
Cool. That's great.
So yeah, thank you very much for all 10 of you who downloaded it multiple thousands of times.
Thank you to all our bots.
Yeah, thanks, Mom, for listening to on every device that you have on every app.
That's funny.
Yeah, Mom actually watches the show, so I just
Oh,
figured
very cool.
I think
Hi,
I'm gonna try to
Mom.
shout out Mom every time
Hmm.
we can. But yeah, that's really really cool. It's such an awesome thing to see those numbers as high as they are. It's it makes me feel so proud of what we're doing and thankful for the people who listen. So there's just so many emotions that get connected with something like that. So I just want to say thanks again. It's really cool. But
That's
yeah, so
awesome.
this week's episode that we released was
Hmm.
the end of the interludes, I believe. Let me just find my thing
With
here.
with
Yeah,
season.
it was the last one was another Esh and I episode.
Oh, okay.
And this was the one where Esh and I went to see her mom, and her mom seemed to have some kind of Alzheimer's or
Oh,
dementia,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That
which
was
remember we
awesome.
found was really, really
Hmm.
interesting that like this separate race, this different kind of people could have the same kind of mental breakdowns
Sure.
or like
Yeah.
old age effects.
Yeah.
I thought that it was really humanizing and really made them
Yeah.
interesting characters to me.
Yeah. It's one of the things I love most about getting a view into the the once faceless and cultureless people of the listeners.
Yeah, the
Well,
barbaric
well,
Parshendi, right?
well, yeah. Like
Yeah.
when you're reading Way of Kings, it's just parshmen. They are servants, basically. You
Right.
don't get to know much about them. Then you
No.
find out there's a link between them and the parshmen that they're fighting.
The enemy, yeah.
You slowly get to learn, like, all you're really told about the parshmen are battle tactics.
Or the
um
Parshendi.
yeah, sorry, the Parshendi, yeah, is battle tactics. And then to expand on that and go in for and go even further in developing their culture, their religion, or lack thereof, turning away from the gods.
Yeah.
um I just think it's brilliant. It just
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's great to not have a undeveloped villain that just and that's the thing. Like, what's great about it is that they're not the villain.
No, they're not.
They appear to be so, and you could construe that uh if you're reading Way of Kings, you could view it that way. But I don't think Brandon Mr. Sanderson had any intention of that being the case. So
Well, it's definitely he intended for us to see them as the enemy, as the bad guy, the first book, and then kind of
right.
reveal to us that there's more going on behind
Hmm.
those shells, right?
Hmm.
I think that it's where you are in the story right now is there's one still really big question that you need answered, and that is why did they send Zeth to kill Gavilar? You still don't know that answer.
Why
You
did
have a
they
little
send Zeth to kill
hey,
Gavilar?
it's Pappy.
Hey,
No,
hey, it's
no,
Pappy.
no, no,
It's
no,
Pappy.
no.
Hey,
No, 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 no. Good
Salut,
morning.
salut, Christian. Ça va?
waves out.
Oui, oui. It's going well. It's going well. Happy Thanksgiving.
You guys too. Just wanna
Yes,
drop
happy
in.
Thanksgiving.
Allô, la petite. Comment ça va? Allô?
Oh, look at this little sweetheart.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Remember when last time Chris did this? He brought on a baby, brought in his hot wife and a baby onto the show, and our like ratings spiked. Remember?
That's what we're gonna see here.
Every episode needs a hot wife and a baby. I think that's what it is.
I just wanted to drop by, say hi, guys.
Hey, how you doing, Chris?
Question in the general chat. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
just talked about what we normally eat at Thanksgiving. But we did Chinese food this year, so it was a little different.
Nice. That's cool. Okay.
I don't know what kind of appetizers, dessert, and all. Yeah, we didn't cover dessert or appetizers, but maybe we'll.
What's
your
your favorite dessert? What's your favorite dessert? Just bar none, no holiday specific. Just your favorite dessert, Jack.
Favorite dessert,
like across the board.
I may have to select pecan pie.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
We went to Myrtle Beach. I don't know. I would say like 10 years ago with some guys from the hospital for a golf trip, and we went to this like a Brazilian steakhouse. You know how they have those big skewers of meat, and they just come over and they're like,
"Yeah,
do you want meat?" And then they just like slice meat to you. They had a key lime pie that is literally still the greatest thing I've ever tasted, and like I've never been able to find a key lime pie as good as that slice of pie that I had that day. So I would say key lime pie.
Key lime pie is a very close second for me, if not. Yeah, you're right.
I didn't know you were
especially in the summer months. Well, I've had it. I've had it in New Orleans once, and it was incredible at this Windsor Court Hotel. And then I partake regularly in the PC product available in Canada.
The PC key lime pie.
They do a key lime that's actually really nice. It's not homemade. It's filled with lots of preservatives.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Key lime it's a good one.
Yeah, it's good. It's a
my mother made a very thick and perfect looking apple pie, like a really dramatic old-fashioned apple pie, and it was really good. It's really good.
Tracy makes this really great cake called a poke cake, and it's just like regular cake. Yeah, it's just a regular box cake, and then you poke holes with like a wooden dowel in it all the way through, and then you put like dulce de leche on top and let all that stuff sink in the holes. And then you put like some kind of whipped, like you have to make your fresh whipped topping or whatever, and you put the whipped topping over top, and then you sprinkle it with like score or chocolate chips on the top. And it's like a super simple cake, but man, it's so delicious. That dulce de leche, like all seeped into the, it's like a gooey cake. It's so good.
Reminds me of pudding chomar.
It's kind of the same. Yeah, it's kind of the same.
Pudding chomar?
It's
it's a French dish. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's what
like
now?
Brown sugar. It's kind of an upside down cake, and like all the bottoms got like maple syrup, brown sugar, butter.
Perfect.
All the things you love.
Let's just go with desserts awesome. And
yeah, straight across. Yeah.
Pretty much. Like, I'm sure there are a few subpar desserts out there, but largely.
Yeah, anything with toasted coconut can go fuck itself.
Oh, those are fighting words for me.
I'm sorry, but anybody, I don't trust anyone who's like, man, toasted coconut is amazing.
I enjoy I enjoy it on
I don't
the only place I enjoy it on, get this. So the only place where I seek it out is at Tim Hortons. Because of the toasted coconut donut, which I like if it's done
my God.
Not the chocolate one, like the regular donut, toasted coconut with it.
I actually
got
don't
like
mind.
a crunchy kind of crackle to it. If it's done right, it's very tasty.
Yeah, see, I don't mind the taste of coconut. It's the grainy toastedness of coconut that like gets on my teeth. I can't
bring that on. You're
bro.
Crazy.
No, it's
You're
gross.
Nuts.
It's gross. If you want to torture me, if you're like, Sean, you need to give us the information. Just rub toasted coconut on my teeth, and I'll tell you anything you want.
You see, for me, my kryptonite is something. It's not toasted coconut. It'd be something like tomato soup.
Oh yeah, just I'll stir tomato soup in front of you. And you're like,
yeah,
it's not soup.
That makes my skin crawl. Tomato soup is like ridiculous.
My wife loves tomato soup.
Oh well, man, it's like the whole world is
a big bowl. A big bowl of tomato soup with like an entire sleeve of crackers crushed in.
Yeah, okay, but that's exactly my point. Is that no one is actually enjoying just tomato soup. You know why?
She does.
No, they don't. They don't. It's ketchup and water. It's ridiculous. It's the silliest thing in the world. I feel like going up to the tomato soup people and being like, look, stop scamming everybody. This is not soup. You've only just barely begun.
You've gotten away with this long enough.
You've gotten away with it long enough. It's time to put something else in the soup. I mean, come on, guys. You put a little tomato. Come on. That's not soup. Come on. You got to add something else, pal.
It's a thin spaghetti sauce. That's all it is. It's just a really thin spaghetti
I'm
sauce.
out, man. Tomato soup, I'm out. And then people say, "Oh no, you've got to add crackers," and or this one, you've got to add milk or cream and stir.
That's why when I make it for her, I make it with milk.
Oh yeah,
not water.
That's all bananas. I'm out. Tomato soup is a scam.
Yeah,
I think.
So let's talk about the artist that we used this week for the episode that came out.
Yeah,
we like I said, it was the episode was the Eshonai episode where she goes and visits her mom, where we find out she's either got dementia or Alzheimer's, and then she goes to the meeting with the council to talk about whether or not they should approve Stormform.
Right.
And the art that we used was a really amazing picture of Venli, the sister, so Eshonai's sister, and it was done by Zariel _art on Instagram, which is one of my favorite artists on Instagram. She's an amazing Stormlight Archive artist. There's actually something pretty amazing going on right now called Inktober. I don't know if you guys are aware of Inktober. Every October, every day, there's the people in the art community challenge each other to create a piece of new art every day of the month in October. And so there's even a sub thing going on of that, which is the Cosmere Inktober. So people are putting out their 30 days of Cosmere art, and every day has like a kind of like a title, so like regret or surge, and so you have to kind of draw with that in mind for the day. So that's cool. It's unfortunate, Jack, that you can't go take a look at it because there's so much art that's being put out during this that you're not allowed to see yet. Right. But it's really, really, really neat just to see what everyone does. But yeah, so we want to say thank you very much to @Zariel _art for allowing us to use her art. She's amazing.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the image now. It's so striking. The cheekbones being at the same height as the ears going back with the cuts.
It's really great, eh?
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah, it's really good.
Brought a lot of chat, a lot of comments, Sean, on the socials.
Yeah, it did. On Facebook.
But they're like, this is what I feel the Parsh people look like for me. And there was a lot of that I found.
Yeah, there is. Especially there was a lot of chatter on Facebook for it, for sure. And I think it's because
I love it.
One of the things that one of the people brought up in the actual Facebook chat was that Mr. Sanderson doesn't necessarily really fully pin down exactly what the listeners look like. So it's kind of really more to us to kind of interpret some of his words. But one of the things I said, in that little conversation was that the other thing too is that all these different Parshmen, all these different listeners have all these different forms. So when one artist draws one way, that form could be scholar form, or it could be war form, or it could be these listeners are going to look different depending on the form they're in and depending on the artist who interprets that form as well. So it just spiderwebs into this like kind of this miraculous display of all these different versions of listeners, which I love. We've talked a little bit before about how I love going online and, searching, okay, I want to post a Caledon Stormblessed picture. So let's search for some. And I'll have, 13 different Kaladin pictures, and they all the Kaladins look different. You know, some of them might look a little more like Japanese style. Some of them will look more like you know, like a Eurocentric cartoon. Some of them will look this, some of them will look that. But in essence, they all look like Kaladin, and I really love that. I think that's one of the things that this series does, is that it takes all these different people from all over the place. They all love the book, but in their fandom, they kind of put themselves into their art, and then you could it's still recognizable when you see Shallan. No matter who draws Shallan, you can tell it's Shallan, right? And it's just, I really love that. I really love that.
It's super cool. Well, it's just, it's interpretation and perspective, right? So it's that's what's amazing about it. I love that that piece of art looked very you know, somewhat elven, or more like the Githyanki.
Yeah,
from D&D. Like it's very I like now imagining them with more striking features. That's interesting. Yeah, that's going to affect me going forward. That's good.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I mean, I like when we get any kind of interpretation of any art. I you know, I've seen, you know, that one of our favorite scenes so far in the series is the Syl fighting Deathspren while Cal is unconscious, and I've seen several different, you know, versions of that from artists, and it's amazing how much can be extrapolated from like a 2-sentence thing in that chapter.
I know, like, it's such a small moment, but it's funny how visually, if you were to do it either in a cartoon or in a live action sequence, that could be a, you know, a number of seconds, maybe even a few minutes of footage.
Right.
Like that could be like an actual battle.
Yeah, for sure.
That takes
and
place.
We've said how, like, you know, from this perspective, from Cal's perspective, there's like not much going on. But if you were to zoom into that moment, it could last. It could last, you know, like half an hour for Syl having to fight these things off.
Sure, it could. Yeah. I mean, because
really
you know, she could have been battling the Deathspren for that night.
Right. You know what it reminds me of a little bit? It reminds me of that that session that you ran for us in D&D.
Yeah.
Where
I was thinking about that too.
We were like, you know, regular sized characters, and then you shrunk us down and like to like pixie size.
Or way smaller, Yeah,
and then we were having a fight like the trenches of the Star Destroyer, or of the Death Star. But they were inside the cracks of the trees.
The cracks and the crevices of the bark of the trees were the trenches. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really, really neat.
Yeah.
So it was a complete change of perspective. It was really, really awesome.
Yeah, I've always liked that one. I've been meaning to drop it on another group, but it's a good visual, right? It
for sure.
Gives you an interesting visual.
For sure. So did you have anything else you wanted to talk about for the episode that we had recorded? Eshonai, Mother, Council.
No, I think I'm just honestly, I'm chomping at the bit to carry on. I know we've had a
kind of a weird schedule here.
A death in the family, and so we've had to pause. And so I was going to talk to you later this morning.
I'd like to record our episode, you know, in the next couple of days here.
Oh, you would? Okay.
Yeah, I'm almost finished I haven't really had much to do. I've been sitting around kind of waiting for stuff, right? Waiting for moments to be able to be useful and helpful. So I have been reading the chapters, and I have been doing some note taking. So I'm almost done the second chapter, Nature Blushing. So I don't know. You get yourself ready, and then I'll let you know when we can go or whatever, and we'll record for sure. Yeah, I'd like to. That sounds good. I don't want another week to go by without us having an episode.
I want to get through. Or Syl, haven't brought Syl up, so I want to get through part 2. So
we only got 2 more episodes to record. So
I thought it was 3.
I'm pretty sure it's only 2 left now.
Oh wow, good.
Yeah, this episode coming up, and then the next one, I think.
Oh, okay, good enough.
I do have something that we should chat about here. There was a Reddit post on Reddit, obviously. Hold on, I'm just checking to make sure.
I haven't read it.
You're right. We have 3 more episodes to record. So this week's, and then the following next 2, but they're all really small chapters. It's all like kind of quick pacing right now. So, but there was a Reddit post that you saw, everyone must have seen that What If on Disney Plus kind of came to a close this week.
I haven't caught up.
That's okay. It's not talking about What If is not really the point of the post.
Yeah.
The point is to bring up a couple of Stormlight what ifs and kind of discuss them. And I thought that you and I could do that. I could bring up the ones that were brought up in the Reddit.
I would love to talk about what ifs on this thing. Like,
yeah. So here's a couple of the ones that were brought up, and I thought we could kind of give our quick ideas about it. Sure. And Ashlyn, if you want to jump in, you can unmute yourself and you can jump into this conversation if you want as well.
Yeah.
So one of the what ifs were what if Liren had nicked Rashon's artery, killing him while giving him surgery. So when Rashon,
what if Rashon,
what if Liren,
yes,
Kaladin's dad,
yes,
had nicked Rashon's artery? Remember there was that moment when he's like, he could do it.
Yeah.
What if he had gone through it and killed Rashon, and then not have to worry about the repercussions of losing the son afterwards? How does that play out, do you think, in your mind if Liren kills Rashon? We might have talked about this in the actual episode.
I'm not sure.
Hey,
what would that mean? Hello. That's great. You got
Good morning. Good morning.
Got the camera on.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So what do you think about this question, Ashlyn? What do you think about what would have happened? Like, what if Liren had killed Rashon on that table?
I think Kaladin probably would have seen that Liren is no different than soldiers and probably gone into the military anyway.
I think so
when
too.
He finally turned 15.
Right.
But but things are a little bit different because then Liren ends up wealthy, right?
Well,
because there's no one there to stop him from being able to spend those spheres that are in that goblet. He's holding back from spending any of that money and buying anything for the house or buying food because he's trying to like stick to his principles about, no, this was given to us for education. But now that there's no one really around, there's no Rashon to be a dick about things. You know, the Stormblessed family become wealthy, right?
Yeah. That's the what ifs could be huge here. You know, what if
well, we've got a couple more here to go.
Oh, you've got a few more suggestions.
Yeah, I've got a few more to
I was going to say, like what if Szeth was caught right away after Gavilar?
That's true. Do you think he would have spoken
what if the
about
Blackthorn? What if the Blackthorn got out of his drunkenness or wasn't drunk at all that night? What would have happened if the Blackthorn were not inebriated? And
I think that the thing here is that question opens itself to a larger question that we're not allowed to talk to yet, because there's a reason why Dalinar is drunk that night, and you don't know the reason why yet.
Well, you shouldn't have told me there's a reason. Now I'm going to be even more paranoid, looking for a reason.
Well, what I'm saying is that we can't just say what if he wasn't drunk. You'd have to say what if something had changed in his past, which made him not drunk.
Is the reason why he's drunk that night something to do with Navani? Like that, the story that I think there's a story there and it's going to unfold?
What about our relationship in this podcast gives you any inkling that I'm going to tell you the truth in this moment?
I am eternally filled with hope. You might divulge. My charisma.
It is pretty high.
I might roll a 20. I'm going to roll a d20 right now. I rolled a 6, but that's beside the point. I could have rolled a 20.
You could have, yeah.
And I could have convinced you. My persuasion.
Yeah, DM's choice on whether or not I divulge anything for the natural 20 anyways. Okay, so let's move on to the other questions here I have. We only have 10 minutes left, so let's do 10 minutes, rapid fire stuff here. Another question was, and I'm the one who posed this on the Reddit post because we've talked about this, but I'd be interested to hear Ashlyn's take on it, is what if Bridge 4 had not turned back and gone for Dalinar, and had deserted like originally planned?
Yeah.
Do they end up being the deserters that Shallan meets on the Frostlands? Do they end up killing the deserters on the Frostland, killing Vatha and Gaz and Red and that whole group? Do they, I
don't see them being murderous. Oh, sorry.
No, I don't think so either.
I should let Ashlyn
go ahead.
in here.
I think it would have destroyed Kaladin. Just because he lived so much by honor, and so to abandon them, he would have spiraled, and I don't want to see what dark places he would go to.
Absolutely. I think that's right. Also, his relationship with Syl is like damaged, like big time, because she is an honor friend. So if he does not go back for Dalinar, maybe she leaves him, maybe she goes away, maybe, you know what I mean? Who knows?
I don't want Syl leaving him. That's not what I want.
No, that's not a fun what if.
No, I don't want that one either. I think that Kaladin, had they left, I think they would have carried on with. See, Kaladin is still also maintaining this hope inside of himself. He's come to the threshold several times, and he didn't jump into the chasm.
Right.
He could have, but he didn't. He could have turned away from Dalinar on the Battle of the Tower, but he didn't. Mm-hmm. It looked like he was going to leave.
Yeah.
But then he didn't. So, but let's say he had, I think if he had, and let's say Dalinar was overtaken. Let's say that happened.
Yeah.
And Adolin and, I think that decision would have played Kaladin like some of his other decisions that he blames himself for, like his inaction or not being there.
Yeah.
And it would have haunted him, but I think he would have carried on as the same character. I don't think it would have poisoned him to either eliminate the hope or his sense of honor. And I think that he would have still, if he had come across other bandits or caravans, I think he would have incorporated them into his fold.
Right.
Again, he has that charisma. He has that leadership skill. He can also back it up with incredible martial skill.
Yeah,
so
I like that
all of those things combined, he would just be continuing to grow an army, but more than that, to grow I guess I would call it like to grow a culture that is, I guess, based on honor.
Yeah.
And
I think the biggest repercussion of all this is that Sadeas wins, because there's no one that comes back to the war camps to say anything against what he's already declared. He's the only one that has Elokar's ear. And I mean,
well, yeah, but okay. See, I don't know as much as you guys know with regards to Adolin, Renarin, and the Blackthorn and Shallan and what it all means going forward. But if Dalinar and Adolin were taken out of the picture, first and foremost, would the Parshendi have ended Dalinar and Adolin on that battlefield?
Oh, that's a very, very good question, because I could see a version of this where they're defeated but not killed, and now they're prisoners of the listeners, and while over there they're learning more about that culture, which is exactly what Dalinar said that they should be doing anyways, but he's doing it as a prisoner. That's a really, really cool what if. I really like that.
So it doesn't strike me that the expansion on the Parshendi that we're getting heading into Words of Radiance, it doesn't seem to me that it would have been the topmost priority for the Parshendi to have slain Dalinar and perchance Adolin on that battlefield. Maybe.
It depends on how important ownership over their shards would have been. If they wanted those shards, they would have had to have killed those two men. But if they didn't, if they wanted prisoners, then prisoners might be more handy to them, right?
I think it depends on how much you know about your enemy.
Right. What do you think, Ashlyn?
So I think it mentions in the book that they always took down shard bearers first, and shard bearers were killed first, so that those shards could be used to take down enemy troops. Mm-hmm. So I don't think in this scenario they would have been killed so that they could have that advantage.
Right. Agreed.
Right.
There is a possibility here, though, that Eshonai is the one who is like, wait, let's not kill them. We might be able to, because she wants to sue for peace regardless, right? So,
Right.
like an exchange of prisoners could be the kind of thing. You know, we have the Blackthorn, we have the Prince Adeline. If we can talk about peace, maybe we can give them back to you, kind of thing. I see a scenario here where Eshonai maybe is, because she's the one who's physically fighting.
Is Eshonai the
Blackthorn.
outlier amongst some of the Parshendi thought?
It seems like it. Even though she's kind of leading them, she's also the one who, you know, when she talks to, when in this chapter actually that we're talking about that we just released this week,
Yeah.
Eshonai is sitting down with her friends and they're like, bring back the old gods, as long as I can kill
Right.
humans, that's all that matters. So like they want war big time, and she's like, there should be another way. There's got to be a different way.
I think the what if should be, what if Shallan asked for Kaladin's boots and he said, no.
I need my boots.
He's like, I need boots.
I would have liked to have talked real quick, but then we only have 3 minutes here, but like maybe quickly, give me some comments, both of you, on what if Yasna doesn't die at the beginning.
Oh, well, of course
Words.
I want that. I don't want Yasna taken out like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
what if,
yeah, I think Shallan becomes a completely different person. She doesn't strike out on her own. She doesn't learn to be the person that she's become so far in this book.
well,
It's a little unfair for me to ask because you haven't finished the book yet. So it's a little unfair for me to.
what if Yasna survived the encounter, is missing but survived?
Right.
You could still have Shallan go on the same journey, and then you find out that miraculously Yasna did not perish in that battle.
That's true.
You find out
That's
another
true.
story.
That's a what if that you could get behind. You know?
Yeah, well, I could get behind that because then I could hang on to my nugget of hope about that character.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any illusions about it. I get it that characters die. This series appears to be a little bit Game of Thronesy, like people are on the chopping block at any moment.
Yeah, I think so.
Um,
I think that you can't be comfortable at all, and you shouldn't be.
no, I'm not comfortable at all. I don't feel easy about.
There's no wanton death though. There's no like death just for death's sake either, right? Like,
No.
I mean, one of the biggest so far that we've had was I think was losing Dunny. I really miss Dunny.
Yeah, Dunny.
So, but I think we should probably be wrapping this up. We're coming up on
We're coming close to time, folks. Well, this was great. I really liked that we got to see Ashlyn. That's cool.
Yeah, and Papino came on too. So thanks a lot, Ashlyn, for coming
Chris.
on and chatting. That's awesome. Yeah, this is kind of a really weird, wonky episode. Started sad and then yeah. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening and for watching this weird show where we chat about
show our ugly
things.
faces.
Yeah, show our ugly faces.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much for everyone for listening and for being a patron on the page. We really appreciate it. We appreciate your support, and we love you very much. And till next time,
Take care, everybody.
bye, Ashlyn.
See you. Bye.
Bye.